The Greatest Showman. Why Anne was one of the freaks. The Greatest Showman tells the story of P.T. Barnum, Hugh Jackman, and his museum and circus, made famous thanks to the performances of his group of freaks, a group Zendaya's character Anne Wheeler doesn't seem to fit into at first sight. Barnum's troupe was widely popular thanks to the performances of its group of freaks, which were people with disabilities, unique physical traits, and more. However, Barnum's ambition led to many problems in his personal and professional life. While Barnum struggled to keep his projects afloat, his business partner Philip Carlyle, Zac Efron, was having a romance with one of the freaks, Anne Wheeler, Zendaya. This wasn't an easy relationship due to the social context of the time, and it's that same context that gave Anne Wheeler and her brother W.D. Yahya Abdul Mateen II freak status in The Greatest Showman. Many viewers have wondered why Anne Wheeler was part of the freaks. The freak label doesn't feel appropriate for Anne Wheeler, since she didn't have any unique physical traits that made her stand out, unlike Lettie Lutz, Keala Settle, the bearded lady, for example. Anne and W.D. were acrobats, and she was a trapeze artist. While they were exceptional at the aerial feats, and Anne's act seems almost superhuman at points, that isn't exactly what made them part of Barnum's found family. What gave Anne freak status in the eyes of her fellow circus members was that she, as well as W.D., was a person of color. As seen throughout the whole movie, racism was a big issue at the time, though not much has changed. Race was also the reason why Anne Wheeler and Philip Carlyle came across so many obstacles. It was unacceptable for a woman of color and a white man to be together. This was exacerbated by Philip coming from wealth, while Anne and W.D. were working class. Racism in The Greatest Showman was more evident when Philip and Anne encountered Philip's parents, who chastised him for parading around with the help. Even though the main theme of this subplot was racism, The Greatest Showman has been criticized for how it addressed it and how it never explicitly mentioned race, instead just using a safer, or less controversial, language that ultimately made it worse.